Shalom, Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge under Commander GEN.YAHANNA, coming out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Tonight's class is gonna be about who is Satan, because a lot of people don't understand that Satan is he walks among you. Like Satan is not like Satan. You might think Satan is like under the ground or whatever, but the spirit Satan, he walks among you. Like he could be standing right next to you and you wouldn't even know it, because Satan is like in your mind telling you to do stuff that you shouldn't do. You might think it's yourself. You might think Satan is like some evil creature, but Satan is a spirit that's your voice in your head telling you to smoke that weed or telling you to get drunk and drive your car on the expressway. Like Satan gonna do everything in his power to make you sin against the Most High. That's his job. So we're gonna get into that tonight. You know, like we say, we don't go off our own heart. You know, we go off the scriptures. So I'm gonna start and I'm gonna be reading off the Bible app on my phone to make everything go smoother. But it's the same as the King James version of the Bible and the Apocrypha. And I'm going to start in 2 Corinthians 11 and 13. Second Corinthians 11 and 13. For such are false apostles, deceitful workers, transforming themselves into the apostles of Christ. And no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light. So that's basically what I was saying about like Satan being like something in your head. Like, you feel me? Like, because that's how he works. That's how Satan works. He works inside of your head, like basically like bringing out your inner lust and making you do it. Even though you know, like, man, I probably shouldn't be doing that, man. Probably shouldn't be sleeping with that brother's wife, but I'm finna go over there anyway. You go over there, then you get shot in the head leaving out. Like stuff like that. Like that's the type of situation Satan will put you in. You feel me? He had you think you're doing something righteous, but really you doing something that's against the Most High. And that's why I say no marvel, and no marvel, for Satan himself has transformed himself into an angel of light. Like marvel just saying like don't glorify this. You feel me? Like, cause you think stuff you see that's glorified, that's Satan really tempting you, because now it's glorified, but you thinking like, man, this is what's up though. Like let's say like you in a dope game or something like that. Like you see all the money, the women, you feel me, the cars, you doing stuff you never thought you would be doing. So you like marveling at it, like, man, this is the life. You feel me? Then you end up 100 years in prison. You feel me? Or get the death penalty. You feel me? RICO charges, like all that stuff. Like Satan, you feel me? He works for the Most High. Like, he does the Most High job, you feel me, to go see who gonna sin against him, you feel me? To see who gonna sin against him and do some evil works. So I'm gonna read it again. 2 Corinthians 11 and 13. For such are false apostles, deceitful workers, transform themselves into apostles of Christ. Because that's what a lot of people is. Like a lot of these people, it's like you think it's so righteous, you feel me? They ain't doing nothing but just transforming themselves into apostles of Christ. Really, they just work for Satan. They working for Satan. You feel me? But Satan in their head telling them like, yeah, you know what? Y'all should go push that women, you feel me, should have more rights than men. Y'all should go push that a woman shouldn't have a man in the house, you feel me, if she want government assistance. Y'all should go tell them women, man, they could kill them babies. They ain't alive anyway. When it came out that the baby fetuses inside of the woman's body feels every inch of the pain, you feel me, that it takes to get that baby up out of them when they killing it in the abortion clinic. You feel me? So that's Satan, you feel me? That's what he do. For are such apostles, deceitful workers, transforming themselves into the apostles of Christ. That's what Satan do. He have people thinking they just doing so good, but really they ain't doing nothing but deceitful works and transforming themselves into apostles of Christ. And no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light. Like that was the whole purpose. Like we gotta look at this. Like people gotta start looking at this like this is like a video game. You feel me? Like you looking at it like life and death and feelings and all that. But the Most High is the creator of all things, and he looking at it like a video game. He got a good character and a bad character. You feel me? And he sent Satan, you feel me, in the earth to make a lot of bad characters in this game called life that we living in. You feel me? So that's how we got to start looking at it. You feel me? We got to stop looking at everything that we think is so good. You feel me? Anything you see that everybody's doing, like you gotta question that. Like 2020, you gotta start questioning anything you see that everybody's doing. Everybody ain't in the I.S.U.P.K. So that's how you know we ain't them people transforming into the angel of light. You feel me? Like we is the angel of light. You feel me? So anyway, I'm gonna keep reading. Therefore, it is no great thing if his ministers also be transformed as the ministers of righteousness. So that's what happened with Satan. You feel me? Satan have people out here thinking they righteous. You feel me? When really you just going against the Most High. You feel me? You breaking the code of conduct. You feel me? You doing everything the Most High don't want you to do. You feel me? You running around with these doctrines talking about pork is clean. You feel me? Ain't nobody saying you can eat people. You start telling people like, well, let's eat rats and dogs. And now everybody condemning the Chinese. All the Christians condemning the Chinese for the coronavirus. But they say, oh man, pork is cool though. Ain't nothing wrong with no pork, man. Ain't nothing wrong with no bacon. You feel me? Those them people that's working for Satan, man. And what they doing, like this scripture said, it say, there is no great thing if his ministers also be transformed as the ministers of righteousness. Because that's what they doing, man. All these people out here, Satan is transforming them into ministers of righteousness. On his, you feel me? On his, like, standard. Like, we got to look at it like that. Like, this is Satan's standard of righteousness. His standard of righteousness is people doing what the Most High don't want them to do. You feel me? The Most High standard of righteousness is not eating pork, man. You feel me? Not eating pork. But these people out here saying that ain't nothing wrong with that. People out here saying, oh man, we from Africa. We're African American. When that term got started in the 80s. You feel me? That's what's going on. It's these people thinking they righteous, but really they doing the works of Satan. You feel me? Which is just an evil spirit that's running amok. He running rapid through the earth. You feel me? He going here and there. You feel me? Up and down, east and west, trying to see who can get. And he having such a ball. Satan is having a ball. That's what y'all don't even understand. Satan, the spirit of Satan who works for the Most High, he is having a good time. Because there's so many, we was in slavery for so long, and there's so many doctrines and these oppressors that had us in slavery for so long. They is like the chief, you feel me? Like his lieutenant. You feel me? They is like Satan's lieutenant. And you know the black woman is the white man's lieutenant. You feel me? So like Satan is just having a ball. You know, he running east and west, north and south, running amok through his kingdom. And they say, therefore it is no great thing if his ministers also be transformed as the ministers of righteousness, whose end shall be according to their works. And that's why people dying from diabetes, coronavirus, AIDS, all these diseases, it's just people dying so much from, because the scripture said, whose end shall be according to their works, which is death. Like according to your works, all you supposed to get is death. You ain't supposed to get you ain't supposed to get no glory for none of that stuff. You ain't supposed to get no glory. You supposed to get death. And that's why you don't see nothing but a bunch of death and famines and diseases and stuff like that. Because the Most High said, therefore it is no great thing if the ministers also be transformed as the ministers of righteousness, whose end shall be according to their works. Death, like T.D. Jakes. No, not T.D. Jakes. Well, T.D. Jakes eventually, but I meant to say Eddie Long. You feel me? He knew what he was doing with them boys in that church, man, and whose end shall be according to their works, which was death. He died because his end was according to his works, man. Feel me? So anyway, I'm going to drop that. Because, like, people got to understand, man, Satan could be your brother, man. Satan could be your mother, your sister, your girlfriend, your children. Like, people got to understand that Satan is not some demon spirit that you're going to see when you go to the bathroom with the lights off, looking in the mirror or something like that. Candyman or Michael Myers. That ain't Satan. Satan is a spirit that's you hear in your head telling you to do something you ain't supposed to do. You feel me? Or it could be, like I said, your brother, your mother. Satan could be on them, telling them to, oh man, why is you in that coat? Why you steady wearing them boots and big? Like, that's what my mama said. She talking about you just a hairy man now. When really, I really was always trying to grow it out. You feel me? But she just don't like, you feel me? She want me to line it up and do this. And I say, no, I ain't doing none of that, man. You feel me? But that's Satan on her, telling her to try to get me to, you feel me, not keep the commandments and stuff like that. You feel me? That's how Satan works. That's how he moves. So anyway, I'm gonna go to Matthew in the New Testament, 16 and 21. From that time forth began Yahushua to show unto his disciples how that he must go unto Jerusalem and suffer many things of the elders and chief priests, scribes, and be killed and be raised again on the third day. So he basically talking to his, his boys, you feel me, about what's going to happen, man. Because Christ was a soldier, man. And that's why we got to be a soldier, man. We got to stand up against Satan, man, and his lieutenant, the so-called white man, our oppressor, and the white man's lieutenant, our black women. You feel me? Hispanic and Native Indian women, man. We love them to death, man. That's why we got to correct them, man, because they is the white man's lieutenant. And the white man is Satan's lieutenant. So, yeah, man, you got to be a soldier, man, like Christ. Christ was ready to die, man. He was ready to die for this truth. Then Peter took him and began to rebuke him, saying, "Bet it be far from thee, Lord, this shall not be unto thee." So basically, Peter trying to get him to say nah, man, don't do that, man. Like, man, nah, it ain't even worth it. Like, you shouldn't do that, man. It ain't worth it. It's probably a better way we can do this. You feel me? It's got to be a better way. But Peter don't understand that what he's saying to Yahushua, feel me, is the works of Satan. You feel me? Because Yahushua came for a mission, man. The Most High sent him here for a mission. And this is going to be the completion of the mission. And he's basically telling him, nah, don't do that. You shouldn't do that. Because they know about how the Romans kill people and how harsh and wicked and evil the death is. So he's like, nah, man, don't do that. It ain't worth it. You feel me? But anyway, what was that? Verse 22. Matthew 16 and 22. Then Peter took him and began to rebuke him, saying, "Be it far from thee, Lord, this shall not be unto thee." But he turned and said unto Peter, "Get thee behind me, Satan. Thou art an offense unto me." So he's talking to Peter, but really he's talking to Satan, because he know the spirit of Satan is on Peter right now. Because he know that he was what he was sent to do. He know he was sent down here to save his people. You feel me? Die a wicked death, evil death. You feel me? And then come back. You feel me? He knew that's what he was sent here to do. But Satan was on Peter trying to get him, trying to see if, Yahushua was going to fold. Oh, no, don't do it, man. It ain't worth it. We got to find a better way. But, Yahushua is a soldier, man. He's a soldier. That's why we say, man, if you ain't no soldier, man, this ain't the place for you. You ain't a soldier, ISUPK One West ain't a place for you. You could go find you some fairy tale group or some Christian Bible study, or somebody with some bed sheets wrapped around their body, feel me? Or some people out there in gym shoes and shorts, feel me? On the corners. You could go find one of them, man, because this only a place where soldiers dwell, man. We are soldiers, just like our King Yahushua, who the world calls Jesus Christ. We are soldiers. We soldiers just like him. You feel me? Just like him. He was a soldier. He's ready to die for his people. You ain't ready to die for your people, you in the wrong business. If you think you want to be a priest, you call yourself a priest, you in the wrong business. So anyway, but he turned unto Peter, "Get thee behind me, Satan. Thou art an offense unto me," saying you offended me right now. You know what I came here to do. You know what I've been teaching y'all all this time. You offended me. "For thou savorest not the things that be of God, but those that be of men." So basically he's telling Peter, this is what you want is of men, man. God want me to go up there on that cross, You feel me? You want me to go through all this stuff, you feel me? And then come back, you feel me? This is God's plan. What you telling me to do, this is of men. That's just some fleshly stuff, man. I came here to do something way bigger than all of us, you feel me? The whole goal I came here was to come show people, you feel me, in the fleshly form that they can keep the laws and commandments. You feel me? That they can love their brothers and sisters, man. You feel me? They ain't got to fold to this evil kingdom, man, or Satan. They ain't got to fold to Satan, you feel me? And that's what Christ is basically telling him, man. Like, man, Satan on you, man. That's why he was really talking to Satan, not really Peter. He said, get behind me, Satan. You feel me? Because he knew Satan was on Peter, you feel me? Trying to get him to go against what God sent him here to do. So yeah, Satan could be your brother. Satan could be a man you rolling with, tight. You feel me? You thinking y'all is like this. You feel me? You thinking everything he's saying is what's up. You feel me? Until you meet the end and you find out like, man, dang. Knew that wasn't right, man. But I did it anyway, because Satan was on you, man. Satan was telling you that it was right, because he transformed himself into an angel of light. That's what he do. Because we fight Satan every day, man. You can't see him. You can't hear his voice. His voice sound like your voice, or your mama, or your brother, or your cousin, or your girl, or your kids. Feel me? We fight Satan every day. Every day. Because life is about war. It's a battle, man. It's a battle. Life wouldn't be no fun, you feel me, if Satan wasn't in it. You feel me? Tempting you every day. It wouldn't be no fun if, you feel me? Because it's like, it's no fight. You feel me? That's what life is about. It's about fighting. You feel me? So what would life be if we didn't have to fight eating pork and shrimp and having sex with all these different women walking past looking, you feel me, real scrumptious? You feel me? Well, what would life be if we didn't have to fight these temptations, man? Life would be boring. You feel me? It'll be boring, man. You know how good you feel knowing that you feel me, fought some lust off, you feel me? That Satan was put up on you, man. That's what life is about. It's about war, man. It's about war. It's about fighting these demons, man. These lusts that Satan is throwing in your head, left and right. You feel me? To and fro. So anyway, I'm going to go to Ephesians 6 and 12. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities. So we wrestle not against flesh. That's what we do, like the priests and prophets of the Most High, which is only in the I.S.U.P.K. and the Commander GEN.YAHANNA. That's what we do, man. We wrestle not with flesh and blood. You feel me? That's why we not finna get no gun. Like people be talking stuff all the time. Talking about some y'all look like fake warriors and Power Rangers because they be talking about our wristbands and our headpiece. Well, really, that's where the Power Rangers got it from. You feel me? Because all that stuff in the Bibles, but that's a whole nother topic. But anyway, yeah, though, like, that's what we do, man. We don't take arms. We're not going to get guns like the Black Panthers and go aim them at white people and this and that. No, we're going to defend ourselves if need be. But we're not taking no war to these people, man, because that's Satan, you feel me? Us going to go fight these people physically, you feel me? That is Satan telling us to do that. Satan was telling the Black Panthers and all these other people, the Crips and the Bloods, to start these organizations to stand up against white people. You feel me? That was Satan. The Lord, you feel me, is the one that chose the I.S.U.P.K, the seven heads, to stand up and create this one body. But Satan was telling all the Crips and the Bloods and the Black Panthers to start them organizations. You feel me? Go against white people. That's going against God, man. We got to serve out our punishment, and the Most High going to fight our battles for us once we start keeping the commandments, man. Not because we could buy an AK. They got drones, man, where they could blow up your whole neighborhood without even ever entering it. Come on, man. You got to be silly if you think we supposed to go pick up a gun and fight our oppressors, man. You got to be outside your mind. So anyway, yeah, that's what we do in I.S.U.P.K. Ephesians 6 and 12. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities. Yeah, against principles, yeah. You feel me? Against these false doctrines, man. Against these wicked and evil laws and kingdoms, man. That's what we fight against, you feel me? Because Satan is the one behind all that stuff, you feel me? We fighting against him every day. Against powers and against the rulers of the darkness of the world. Who is the rulers of the darkness of the world? Satan and his angels, you feel me? All angels is under Satan, under his command, you feel me? Yeah, that's who we fight against. We not fighting our oppressors, man. We not fighting the Chinese. We not fighting the Africans, you feel me? We just don't want to be joined with them. But we not picking up no guns and going to kill them. That's not what we doing, man. We fighting against not flesh and blood, but against principalities and against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of the world, which is Satan and his angels, you feel me? Who work for the Most High. Feel me? He sent them down there to distract us and throw us off our game. And we fighting them every day. And we trying to get our people, you feel me, to fight with us, you feel me, by not doing drugs, not being homosexuals, child molesters, you feel me, adulterers, you feel me, effeminate, you feel me, all that stuff, man. All this talking about transgender, you want to be a transgender? Man, we got the most beautiful women on earth, man. Why would a man ever talk about you want to be a transgender? That's because Satan in your ear, man. And you lost that battle, man. Satan in your ear, you lost that battle. That's the only reason why you would ever say some dumb stuff like that. So anyway, where I'm at. Against powers and against rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Spiritual wickedness in high places. That's what we fight against, man. It's Satan. That's all this talking about is Satan, the spirit Satan, man. That's who the priests fight against when we go tell blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians how they need to move. That's exactly what's going on. That's what we doing. That's what we fighting. Wherefore, take unto you the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all to stand. So that's what we doing with these scriptures, with the laws and commandments. You feel me? That's what we doing. We take unto you the whole armor of God. That's what we doing, the armor of God, with these scriptures, these laws and commandments. That's what we doing. The armor of God. That's exactly what the I.S.U.P.K does. We wrestle with Satan every day, on the corners, all the time, with the armor of God, which is these scriptures. So yeah, that's heavy though, because that's what the I.S.U.P.K, that's one West right there. That's one West right there. And if I could, let me read it one more time for the people that don't think that is one West all day. Ephesians 6:12. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all to stand. That's one West, man. That's what we do, man. That's how we roll. That's how we rock, man. You feel me? So we rock. But Satan, he's an evil spirit, man, that the Most High controls. The Most High controls Satan. And Satan is trying to control us. Feel me? Satan's trying to control us. So I'm going to go to Job 1:6. Job 1:6. Now there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan came also among them. Yeah, Satan, he definitely works for the Most High. He definitely does. And the Lord said unto Satan, whence comest thou? So he asked to say, like, what's up? What you doing here? Like, don't you got work to do? Then Satan answered the Lord and said, from going to and fro in the earth and from walking up and down in it. So basically he said, like, I'm going all around. I'm going all through. Feel me? I'm doing exactly what you asked me to do, which basically what he's supposed to do is just wreak havoc. Have people to sin, feel me, and commit sins. Feel me? That's what he's supposed to do. And the Lord said unto Satan, whence comest thou? And Satan answered the Lord and said, from going to and fro in the earth, from walking up and down in it. And the Lord said unto Satan, hast thou considered my servant Job? There is none like him in the earth. So basically, the Lord saying, like, man, you thinking you like got everybody. Well, what about Job? You feel me? Job ain't committed no sins yet. So basically, the Lord saying, like, okay, you got everybody to commit a sin. Well, go try Job out. You feel me? You think you found everybody? Go try Job, cause he ain't gonna commit no sins. You feel me? He's a righteous man. He was perfect. You feel me? The closest thing to perfect. You feel me? And the Lord saying, go try him. That's how you know that Satan works for the Most High, cause the Most High is telling him that he's saying, go try him. And then Satan answered the Lord and said, Salakia. And the Lord said unto Satan, hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth? A perfect and upright man, one that feareth God and escheweth evil. So basically a man that he does no evil. He does no evil. Then Satan answered the Lord and said, do of Job fear God for naught? So basically he's saying, like, does Job fear God or not? Feel me? Has not thou made an hedge about him and about his house and about all that he have on every side? Thou hast blessed the work of his hands, and his substance is increased in the land. So basically he's saying, like, Job is a very prosperous man. You feel me? So he's giving the Lord an idea of how we can attack Job to make him sin. But put forth thine hand now and touch all that he have, and he will curse thee in thy face. So he's saying, like, if you mess up all the money he's getting, he'll curse you. He'll curse you and he'll commit sin. And the Lord said unto Satan, behold, all that he have is in thy power. Only upon himself put not forth thine hand. So Satan went forth from the presence of the Lord. So basically Satan left and went to go basically do what the Lord told him to do. Go wreak havoc. And there was a day when his sons and his daughters were eating and drinking wine in their eldest brother's house. And there came a messenger unto Job and said, the oxen were plowing and the asses feeding beside them. And the Sabians fell upon them and took them away. So basically, like, stuff is going down for him now. His message is telling him, like, man, look, man, stuff ain't looking too good. While he was yet speaking, there came also another and said, the fire of God is fallen from heaven and have burnt up the sheep and the servants and consumed them. And I only am escaped alone to tell thee. So basically, the Lord destroyed everything Job had. Everything he had, the Lord got rid of it to see, you feel me, was he going to, like, basically curse him? Because that was Satan's plan, because Satan was going all through the earth, you feel me, and he was getting people to sin, and he thought he was done. You feel me? But the Lord told him, well, go try Job. And he was like, really didn't want to, because he knew, like, Job was a God-fearing man. So he really didn't even want to try Job. But the Lord told him to go do it. Then Job arose and rent his mantle and shaved his head and fell down upon the ground and worshiped. So after all this stuff happened to Job, everything he lost, he still praised the Most High. He lost everything. He fell to the ground and worshiped. He worshiped the Most High. And said, naked came I out of my mother's womb, and naked shall I return thither. So Joseph was He was what you would call a real nigga. That's what you would call Joseph. Joseph lost everything and he ain't complain about it. He dropped down, worship God, and he said, man, look, man, I ain't had nothing when I came out my mama's, you know what? You feel me? I ain't gonna hide nothing when I leave. So it is what it is. The Lord gave and the Lord have taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. And all this Job sinned not, nor charged God foolishly. So all this stuff that happened to Job, he still ain't sinned. He still ain't cursed God. You feel me? He was a righteous man. You feel me? He was a righteous man. He lost everything. Satan took everything from him, from the orders of the Most High. And he still did what he was supposed to do about worshiping the Most High. You feel me? That's what we got to do, man. You feel me? That's a battle right there. That is a battle. You feel me? That was a battle. That's what keep you strong, man. That's what stop you from being soft and weak and effeminate, man. He went through all them backtracks and backsliders and relapses, and he still worshiped the Most High. He ain't give in, man. He ain't give in to temptation. All right, man. But that's what we got to do, man. We got to have strength from Satan, man. And sometimes what you got to do, man, you got to, Satan to be on one of your brothers. So you got to strengthen your brother. Satan to be on one of them heavy trying to commit him to sin. You gotta help your brother out, man. You feel me? You can't let him suffer that death like that. So anyway, Luke 22 and 31. And the Lord said, Simon, Simon, behold, Satan hath desired to have you, that he may sift you as wheat. So basically, what's going on is Satan is after Simon. You feel me? Satan is after Simon. The spirit of Satan is on him, and he's trying to dissect him, inspect him for every weakness he got so he could come at him, you feel me, and get him to sin. But I have prayed for thee. Now, this Christ talking. But I have prayed for thee that thy faith fail not, and when thou art converted, strengthen thy brethren. So basically he's saying, like, after you go through what you go through with Satan, it's going to put you through a test. Feel me? He finding all your weak points. He's going to put you through a test. After he put you through that test and you pass, go strengthen your brothers, man. Feel me? Go show them how not to be weak. That's what this scripture is talking about. Christ saying how Satan's coming for everybody. More of the story, Satan's coming, man. He coming for everybody. And when he come, you feel me? You got to fight that spirit, man. Whatever he's throwing at you, fight it. And then once you win, feel me? Go help your brothers, man. Go get your brothers counsel, man. Go show them how not to be weak to Satan, man. And whatever he's putting on you, man, to commit sins, man. Or break rules or whatever, man. But that's what life about, man. Life about strengthening your brothers, man. And that's what Christ told them. Say, man, after you converted, and go strengthen your brothers, man. Go strengthen your brothers. Glory ain't just given to you. Sad to say it. I know a lot of people just want glory just to have it. You feel me? But glory ain't given to you, man. You got to take it, man, by fighting Satan. You let Satan overcome you, man, that glory will shatter. Glory will shatter. It'll be gone like a thief in the night. So anyway, I'm in Zechariah 3:1. And he showed me Joshua, the high priest, standing before the angel of the Lord, and Satan standing at his right hand to resist him. And the Lord said unto Satan, the Lord rebuke thee, O Satan, even the Lord that have chosen Jerusalem rebuke thee. It is not this a brand plucked out of the fire? Now Joshua was clothed with filthy garments and stood before the angel. So Joshua, he wasn't looking too prosperous. You feel me? Joshua wasn't looking too prosperous, but he did a lot of fighting, man. He did a lot of warring with Satan. He answered and spake unto those that stood before him, saying, take away the filthy garments from him. And unto him he said, behold, I have caused thine iniquity to pass from thee, and I will clothe thee with change of raiment. So basically, he's basically raising him up. You feel me? He raising Joshua up for fighting them battles with Satan. You feel me? Overcoming wickedness. You feel me? And iniquity and all that. And the Lord, it's like it. And I said, let them set a fair mitre upon his head. And they set a fair mitre upon his head, and clothed him with garments. And the angel of the Lord stood by. And the angel of the Lord protested unto Joshua, saying, Thus saith the Lord of hosts, if thou wilt walk in my ways, and if thou wilt keep my charge, then thou shalt also judge my house, and shalt also keep my courts, and I will give thee places to walk among these that stand by. So basically, he rose him up. He rose Joshua up for fighting Satan, man, for fighting demons, for fighting iniquity, for fighting sin, man. He rose him up, man, and told him, you could judge my house. You worthy of judging my house. I'm taking off the dirty garments, and I'm putting a fair mitre on you and clean garments. You feel me? For you doing your job. You feel me? Because glory is not just given, man. It comes for defeating Satan, man. That's how you get rose up, man. That's how you get glory, man. From defeating Satan. Not giving in to Satan. Right? Because you will let Satan take your gift, man, and give you a false idea. That's what a lot of brothers do. They'll let Satan take their gift that they had and give them a false idea of something that don't even fit their character. You feel me? And now they end up losing rank or losing authority or stuff like that. All because of Satan, man. Because Satan speaks. It's your voice in your own head. You feel me? You thinking this, you feel me? Just you like, oh yeah, this got to be of the Most High. No, that's of Satan, man. That's of Satan. So anyway, I'm going to go to 1 Corinthians 7:5. Defraud ye not one the other, except it be with consent for a time, that ye may give yourselves to fasting and prayer, and come together again, that Satan tempt you not for your incontinency. But I speak this by permission and not of commandment. For I would that all men were even as I myself, but every man have his proper gift of God, one after this manner and another after that. So everybody got their own gift from God, man. But you could let Satan take that away from you, and now you thinking a gift that a new gift you got, the whole time that just Satan really finna commit you to sin. You feel me? He finna have you sinning now. That's why I say defraud ye not one the other. You feel me? Because a brother could defraud you. You feel me? That'll be Satan on him telling you that this how you should move, this how you should do. Then you look up, you feel me? And that your proper gift of God is gone. You feel me? It's gone. It's out of there. You feel me? Because that's Satan. You feel me? That ye may give yourselves to fasting and prayer and come together again, that Satan tempt you not for your incontinency. You feel me? Like Satan will tempt you, man. He'll tempt you, and it'll destroy the gift that God gave you. He gave you a gift that make you better than the next man. But Satan gave you another gift. You feel me? He put a gift in your head thinking that that's your new gift. And you look up, you feel me? And your gift that God gave you, was gone. You feel me? That's what Satan do. He'll take away the gifts God gave you. You feel me? And have you back at a low state. That's why I say defraud ye not one the other. Defraud your brothers, man. Have them committing sins. Have them back to where they was at. Yeah, because when Satan gets you, man, all righteousness leave. Whether you like it or not. You might think it's just certain this or that. When Satan gets you, all righteousness is gone. You start moving a whole different way. So anyway, I'm in 2 Thessalonians 2:8. And then shall the wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. So basically, when the Most High send his priests and prophets out there, man, that's the brightness of his coming, man. Feel me? That's the brightness of his coming, and that's when the wicked will be revealed. Whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders. You feel me? Who's working us out the power of Satan, which is the so-called white man, giving us a false image of Jesus Christ, telling us his name is Jesus Christ when it's Yahweh, Mashiach in the Hebrew. You feel me? Telling us we can eat pork, telling us all the laws is done away with, saying being a homosexual was nothing wrong with it when Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed for that, telling us interracial dating is cool when the earth got flooded for that. Even him who's coming is after the workings of Satan with all power, signs, and lying wonders. That's the so-called white man. He's Satan's lieutenant, man. He's Satan's lieutenant, man. We out here, we seeing them with all this money and all this fame, and not us in I.S.U.P.K, but just black people in the world. You feel me? Black people talking about, are we Africans when it's over 200 ethnic groups in Africa? You feel me? And none of them is claiming you. But we Africans, though. You feel me? Even Africans don't call themselves Africans. So how can you be an African? They call themselves whatever ethnic group that they are part of. Whether it's Ethiopia or South this or this and that or this tribe and this and that. So, and for this cause God shall send them strong delusion that they should believe a lie. So that's what's going on. That's what Satan does, man. He's putting a strong delusion on you that you will believe a lie. You feel me? That's what God's purpose of Satan is. You feel me? That's what God's purpose of Satan is. Just to have you out here doing stuff that's lies. Stuff that ain't right. You feel me? To see who really on God's side. You feel me? And with all deceivableness and unrighteousness in them that perish because they receive not the love of the truth. If you receive not the love of the truth, all deceivableness and righteousness, you feel me, will perish. You feel me? It'll perish. You feel me? Because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. And for this cause God shall send them strong delusion, and they shall believe a lie, man. It's a lot of people out here believing lies, man, because of Satan. It ain't you thinking it's you or it's your mama. That's Satan, man. Satan, man. He works for the Most High, man, to see who's going to commit sin, man. Who's going to turn their back on the Most High. Who's going to do it. That's Satan's job, man. That's his job. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power, signs, and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness and unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. And for this cause God shall send them strong delusion, that they should believe a lie. You let Satan overtake you, the Most High he gonna deal with you, man. He gonna deal with you. You let Satan overtake you, the Most High is gonna deal with you. Satan is an evil spirit that works for the Most High. But he might sound like you. You might think Satan, you feel me, is not Satan. You might think it's you. Just telling yourself to do this or that. It's really Satan. Feel me? He tempting you. And how you know if he tempts you or not? You got to come to the I.S.U.P.K under Commander GEN.YAHANNA, learn the laws, commandments, feel me, our customs, the heathen customs, so you can know if Satan is tempting you or if it's the Most High. Feel me? If you're not in I.S.U.P.K, you ain't going to know the difference. You might think it's the Most High when it ain't. So I'm going to go to Matthew 9. It's like in Matthew 4 and 9. And saith unto him, all these things will I give thee, if thou wilt fall down and worship me. Then saith Jesus unto him, get thee hence, Satan, for it is written, thou shalt worship the Lord thy God, and him only shalt thou serve. So that's what Christ's saying. This is Christ's words. He's saying, get thee hence, Satan, for it is written that thou shalt worship the Lord thy God, and him only that thou serve. So Satan, that's who he served. He served the Most High, man. His purpose is of the Most High. He's telling, the Most High is telling Satan what he need to go do, like he did with Job. He told him to go to Job. You feel me? But Satan told the Most High what he need to do so he he can attack Job, even though it didn't work. He told him to take everything from him, and he gonna curse your name. And that's what Christ is saying about Satan right now. He's saying, you work for the Most High. Get thee hence, Satan, for it is written, thou shalt worship the Lord thy God, and him only shalt thou serve. Satan, he works for the Most High. He works for the Most High. You might think he's some evil demon spirit, but he not. You feel me? He doing what the Most High, he following orders. He following orders some other brothers can't do. You feel me? Can't do it. And it's because of Satan why you can't do it. Satan is the reason why you can't follow orders. Revelations 20:1. Right, because it's like it. Because we got to understand that it was a time where Satan, he wasn't going to and fro through the earth, wreaking havoc left and right. You feel me? Putting all type of evil spirits on brothers and sisters and all this and that. You feel me? Like during the dark ages, like Satan was like, he was confounded. You feel me? He was confounded, and the white man he was somewhere in the caves. You feel me? Crawling on all fours and beating his girl half to death and eating out of skulls and stuff like that. Like, it was a time where Satan, he wasn't going up and down, to and fro, left and right, north and south. It was a time where he was confounded. The Lord wouldn't let him move how he wanted him to move. But that ain't right now. Right now, he's moving how the Lord wants him to move. I mean, how he wants to move. Satan is moving left, right, up and down. He's everywhere. He's on every inch of this planet. So anyway, I'm going to go to Revelations 20:1. And I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand. So basically, like, this is a scripture about the dark ages. You feel me? Where an angel came from heaven. You feel me? Where they was like basically trying to put an end to this for a moment. All the stuff Satan been doing all this time and stuff like that. That's why he can say he came down from heaven with a key to the bottomless pit. You feel me? And he laid hold on the dragon and that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan. You feel me? The dragon and the serpent. The serpent, we all know from the Garden of Eden that the serpent was not an actual snake talking to Eve. It was a man who had the spirit of the white man. You feel me? Who was always considered the serpent throughout the Bible, and the dragon, which is Satan. So it says in verse 2, and he laid hold on the dragon and that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, which is it's two different things. The devil is a man, Satan is a spirit. You feel me? The devil is a man, which is the so-called white man, or anybody that deceives you, and which is basically the so-called white man, and Satan is the spirit that's basically controlling, you feel me, all the evilness that's going on in the earth. And he laid hold on the dragon and that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years. You feel me? So he bound Satan and the white man for 1,000 years. He put the white man, the angel that came from heaven with the key to the bottomless pit, he put the white man in the caves in the Caucasus Mountains and at a bottom low state, at a bottom real low state in the earth. You feel me? A time where all black people ruled, which was the dark ages. And he put Satan away too. Satan wasn't going to and fro up and down all through the earth. You feel me? He was locked away for a minute too. Otherwise, black people wouldn't even have a chance to rule that long. 1,000 years. And cast him into the bottomless pit and shut him up and set a seal upon him that he should deceive the nations no more. Because the Most High was tired of it, man. He said, man, look, let's give this a break. Feel me? Let's give this a break. I ain't ready for Christ to return, but I am ready for the white man to get out of power for a minute and for Satan to slow down. Till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled. After that, he must be loosened a little season. Feel me? And that's what happened. You feel me? After the 1,000 years was up, let the white man come out the caves, let him rise up in power. Black people got back at the bottom. Satan got back out, running to and fro through the earth. And now you look up and look what's going on now. Feel me? Now we back in Egypt again. We back in Rome. We back in Greece. You feel me? We back in the Assyrian captivity. We back in all this stuff all over again because the Most High let them loosen a little. You feel me? Not forever, just a little bit. You feel me? Because our punishment ain't done. It ain't done. But Satan is the lieutenant. You feel me? He's the lieutenant for evil. And the white man is his lieutenant. And the black woman is the white man's lieutenant. You feel me? Satan is a spirit that works for the Most High. That's exactly what he do. He works for the Most High. So anyway, I'm going to read the security announcements with I.S.U.P.K. Start out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother or sister. When a new brother or sister comes to the school, they're off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves with the world. They need transportation. The teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to the brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment, Numbers 18 and 21, Malachi 3, 8 through 10, means tenth in the Hebrew. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the Treasury Department. Free will offering for priests, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations, we got the Feast of Purim, March 7th to 8th. Get in contact with your local school near you. Feel me? Come get you some food, some drinks, man. Feel me? Some brotherhood, sisterhood. Anyway, I'm going to give a courtesy salute to the brothers watching the stream. Madam Shabbat, Amijum, Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shabbat, Yazmatar, courtesy salute to the sisters watching the stream. Madam Shabbat, Amijum, Yahweh Shamar, Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai. Class is missed.